Okay, bondage is physically restraining your spouse with things such as ropes or handcuffs for the purpose of enhancing the sexual experience of one or both persons. Now, the Bible doesn't say anything about bondage sex, and for us to just come out and say then that it's evil, we would be risking being guilty of blasphemy, such as we evidenced in a previous presentation. Now, I'm going to split this up into two different parts, the dominant and the submissive. The dominant would be the one that is restraining their spouse, and the submissive would be the one that is being restrained by their spouse. And we're going to cover 4 different reasons why somebody might desire to be the dominant or to be the submissive. Trust, security, freedom, and power. So we're going to start with the dominant. A lot of times people get the impression that if you desire to take your spouse's clothes off and restrain them and blindfold them and so forth, that you must have evil desires in your heart, because if a criminal takes a hostage, that's what they do. They blindfold you, they tie your hands behind your back, your ankles together, and so forth. However, just because you have the desire to be the dominant one in bondage sex does not mean that you have evil in your heart or evil desires to enslave somebody or anything like that. So let's cover those 4 different reasons why somebody might desire to be the dominant one in bondage sex. Trust. A lot of times in relationships, somebody doesn't feel trusted. And so they will desire to be the dominant one in bondage sex, because if your spouse takes all their clothes off and it allows you to tie them up in all these vulnerable different positions, they obviously have to trust you a lot in order to do that. And so it will feed your emotional desire to feel trusted. And this is one of the reasons why somebody might crave dominant bondage sex. So trust, security. Sometimes a spouse will be led to feel like their spouse is always running away from them, like they're always emotionally distant, or they're not there, or maybe they're physically, it always seems like they're always trying to get in the other room. And so you'll have desires for bondage sex and to be the dominant one, because, you know, if you got them restrained, they can't go anywhere. So it gives you a sense of security. Freedom. Sometimes people will feel very restricted in life. They'll feel restricted at their job, they'll feel restricted at home, or if they go into town, whatever they do, they feel like they're always under restrictions. And so being the dominant one in bondage will actually make them feel like, at least in something in their life, they're not under restrictions. Because why? Somebody else is under the restrictions. You have freedom to do as you please. And then the last one is power. Sometimes people will desire to, obviously to be in control, because they feel like they've been the punching bag in life and everything it never gets to go their way. But if they're the dominant one in bondage sex, it's like, okay, I'm in charge, I can do what I want, and so forth. And it's very similar to the freedom desire. However, somebody can be free without, and feel free and be happy without desiring to be in charge, or to be the boss, or to be in control. And so there is a difference there. But these are 4 different reasons why somebody might desire to be the dominant one in bondage sex. Now, you'll notice that all 4 of them stemmed from a desire to control. But if you noticed, it was not an evil desire to control. See, if you're in control, then you can feel trusted, you can feel secure, you can feel free, and you can feel powerful if you're in control. But they're not evil desires to control. It's just the individual trying to feel emotionally safe. They feel trusted, they feel secure, they feel free, they feel like everything is well in the relationship and elsewhere in life. And so it's not an evil desire, it's just the individual's mind trying to take what it needs from life, so that way you can be an emotionally healthy individual. So they're not evil desires. But we're going to be covering submission next. So thanks for watching. We'll see you again in the next presentation.